Hey, little fella. Good morning, Kim. How you doing? Squirrel just jumped behind me. Hope it don't jump on my head while I'm on live. That'd be crazy. Um, Cynthia. Hey, how you doing, Cynthia? I just wanted to jump on here this morning to give y'all opportunity for a Q&A session before we went into the weekend, and just also to kind of check in with y'all, see how y'all been doing. How has everyone been doing this week? Have you guys been making any progress, adapting and adjusting to the new environment? We're actually I had to bring on a new admin, and I'm also hiring somebody to help manage this page and the whole AlanCheney.com stuff. So we're actually picking up, and I'm excited about it. So things are moving forward. We're not being held back by the COVID stuff. It's not affecting us at all as far as growth and leads coming in, calls being, calls coming in, inquiries coming in for services. So I'm happy about that. Hopefully you guys are still out here putting your business and your brand and your marketing into place so people can find you. Hopefully you guys are doing that, getting out into the market the best way you can. And if you can't physically still at this point, you always remember that you could make, unlimited amount of phone calls. You can, to the top referral sources. You can emails. You can always send out emails to top referral sources. There's never an excuse not to do anything. So I hope you guys aren't being paralyzed by the situation. I feel like I'm always saying this stuff, but it's just a reality. If you don't put your business in the community, if you're not taking, actual steps every day, consistent, you're not going to have any results. And I really want to see you guys have some real results. We halfway through 2020. June is, this is the halfway mark, and we still got time to make some real progress. Kim asked me, doing good question for you. Did you have a wheelchair ramp outside of your assisted living home before your assisted living started getting clients? I'm worried if I should get one before or if I could wait until. I didn't have one initially, and then because we didn't have any residents, I wasn't sure, because every resident don't necessarily mean they're gonna be in a wheelchair. So if you do get your resident, usually, see, like with assisted living, it's not as quick as like home care. You're not gonna onboard or bring in a new resident that's like overnight. So the nurse is gonna go first. You're gonna get the lead probably from like a referral company, like a place for mom or something like that. They're gonna send you a referral. Your nurse is gonna go do the assessment, and then at that assessment you'll know ahead of time, like, okay, this person is wheelchair bound, and then you'll have an opportunity to go ahead and get the wheelchair ramp if you need it. So it's not nothing that you have to get. You can if you have the funds laying around and you don't have anything else to do with that particular money, depending on what kind of ramp you had going to get, because there's a lot of different options. You could get one built. Usually you can get one built depending on how your house is set up, like how your front door is set up. You should be able to get one built for like, under $2,000. I'm hoping. And then they got like the removable ones, like the portable ones that are much cheaper, that you can find like online, like on Amazon got some, and then also like there's also just direct vendors if you Google like wheelchair ramps, but those aren't as good, but they're temporary. And if your door isn't like really at a high, ramp, it shouldn't be a problem to use a temporary one. But you won't be caught off guard, is what I'm saying. You'll know prior to getting a client, you'll have weeks in advance, or at least a week at minimum, to have get a ramp in place before the client actually moves in, before the resident actually moves in. So it's nothing that you got to worry about immediately. You'll know in advance. So either way, make sure you do like your research to find out where you can get one if you need one, and start contacting like local contractors and handymen who can install them, and try to get some different quotes and stuff like that, and just get some bids for a ramp, because you definitely want to have one eventually. But you won't be caught off guard either way. Kim, that was to answer your question about the wheelchair ramp. Good morning. Are you accepting new clients for business order? Absolutely. Like I just mentioned a second ago, we're bringing on a new girl. She's going to be starting Monday to help me, Nakia, and some of our other assistants run this actual business, the AlanChaney.com thing, because we're getting a lot of inquiries. We're getting a lot of people signing up for our Done For You programs, and we just want to be able to take care of everybody and make sure everybody's getting the most out of our programming. So we're actually bringing somebody else on. So she'll be posting and commenting in the feed and on the page. She'll be taking phone calls from the phone number. If you call in, she'll be one of the people besides myself and some of the other people you may have spoken to in the past, or you'll speak to in the future. So we got somebody else coming on, and we're excited about that. So yes, absolutely. Gail, we're taking new clients. Just tuning in, Mimi. I have a non-medical home agency, but I've noticed that the AL referrals have increased since COVID. Have you noticed people prefer AL over home care if they need assistance with family versus having someone come to their home? What I've noticed is that people are taking their family members out of facilities, like out of the bigger facilities, and bringing them home and looking for smaller facilities because of for less exposure. And that's good for me and what I do, because I like smaller facilities. I mean, I can set up smaller facilities. It's harder for me to set up a huge facility, but when I can just go buy a home or lease a home, 4 or 5 bedrooms, and start a smaller facility, that's good for us in our business, obviously. And then when they come and they're taking their families out of nursing homes, and they're not even able to, when they can take them out. So they're trying to get them out, but the state is like making it harder for families to even get their family members out because of COVID. But I do see a lot of families preparing to get their loved ones out of these different facilities, these bigger facilities, and definitely the nursing homes and things of that nature, because they want to bring them home and do home care, preferably live-ins. So we're getting a lot of live-in inquiries because people are, they know that they want their family member home, and they know getting the hourly rate would be astronomical if they need 24-hour care. So they're opting for the live-in, obviously. So we've been seeing an increase in that as far as like home care versus assisted living. That's what Mimi Green just asked me. Hopefully that helps you or answers your question. Cynthia Hill. Oh yeah, absolutely, Cynthia. Nope, not a problem. Where do you get your signs from that you have? Oh yeah, the banner signs. We get a great discount. All of our students and anybody like you here on the page, you gotta just call Dirt Cheap Signs. It's called Vistago Print now, but I think they used to. If you Google dirtcheapsigns.com, their name still comes up, and you ask for Curtis at Dirt Cheap Signs, and tell him you want the Alan Cheney discount, and he's gonna give you a great discount. Oh, and then she asked me, is it a requirement to remove them at a certain time? So different counties got different rules. So we try to put out 125 to 150 signs a week in 5 different counties. And this certain counties trip and some don't. So depending on the county, they're gonna, they could be really petty and, threaten you with fines, or they'll just pick them up themselves, or they'll tell you to pick them up. And some counties don't say nothing; they'll stay out there forever. So until like the weather bring them down or something like that. So you just have to find out what's the ordinance is, the laws in your area for sign posting, and the majority of the time they're gonna be saying like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, but in my experience, I still will put them out like on a Friday, and if they're and just pick them up on like a Sunday night or something like that. But I would definitely put them out, especially right now, because it's like it's really a big uptick in people looking for care. So this is a great opportunity to even if it's something, it's not a strategy that you want to use long term, the signs actually. But right now is a good time to use them because it's just an uptick in people needing care, and they preferring their family get care in their homes opposed to previously if they was at a facility or something like that. So you will see an increase in people looking for services. Yeah, that's definitely putting out the letting people know in your community that you do live-ins, letting all your referral sources know that you're offering live-ins and great rates. But the trick is, at this point, is not going to be finding the clients. We have clients calling in. We're having trouble finding great caregivers. So with that being said, make sure if you on this call and you got your business set up and you open and operational, make sure you have multiple ads on Indeed in your general area, looking, just marketing for caregivers, especially live-in caregivers, male and female. Even if you don't have no leads ready right now to provide service to, because once you start marketing, you want to have that database of caregivers to reach into when you need service, when services do, when clients need services. So don't not get caught, don't not market for caregivers. Like marketing for caregivers for me at this point is just as vital. It always has been vital, but once you got different circumstances and different environments, you have to do different things, and this is definitely a new environment, so we have to constantly be marketing for caregivers. So we're actually doing paid ads on Indeed. I'm doing paid ads on Craigslist. I'm doing ads on Facebook for caregivers, like not just leads. Like we need caregivers. So we recently been struggling with a particular live-in over the last 24 hours. We've been trying to fill it. We just got a great caregiver who came in through Indeed or something. She's being vetted, virtual interviews, getting her paperwork in, making sure all her background and references are straight. So never stop at this point looking and building a database of caregivers, because that's the other side of it. You got to have caregivers, because once you put the signs out and you start putting out all this marketing for for clients, if you don't have the caregivers, you're gonna look like you're gonna look incompetent. Right now, makes sense. I would have a pro. Yeah. So that was kind of directed towards Mimi, Charlotte. So is the state regulating these homes? Also, have you used CNA ADLs to give me? Most states regulate assisted living for sure. Charlotte. And so also, would you use CNAs, ADLs, and give the meds? Yeah, in most assisted livings, you're gonna pass meds. We like to hire licensed CNAs to perform, basic ADLs and whatever other services that we offer. We're a level 3 facility, so we offer all nursing services as well, all medical services. We could keep our clients all the way to hospice, our residents. Kim Sim, you say your facilities in Baltimore City. That's what's up. Felicia, come on, just start your assistant living. You have to take training. Is the training online? If you already have a home, make it paying certificate. Do you? So Felicia, when it comes to starting an assisted living facility, each state requirement is different. I don't know what state you in, but definitely in Maryland, you have to have a manager. It's an 80-hour management training. It has to be updated every year, I think, or every 2 years. There's a thing online for them to that you can update it online for like $125, but you have to take the initial 80-hour training to get a license. Your facility has to have a license, be licensed. Kim Sims, she said, my husband and I will be caregivers until we start making money. Yeah, that's a great idea. What Catherine asked me, what area are we looking for caregivers? Oh, we're in the DC, Maryland area. So like PG County, Anne Arundel County, Montgomery County, Howard County. These are some of the counties where we find most of our clients. See, when you say like, somebody asked MK, she's saying, what do I think is better or easier? Assisted living facility or group homes? I don't know the difference. I know we don't use that term in Maryland, group home. We only use assisted living facility, like assisted living. I don't know what a group home is per se. Some states say group home and mean assisted living. So when you say group home, you got to be more specific, because I don't really know what that means based on your state's, terminology. And then this thing, I always hear people say easier. It's nothing going to be easy. It's never going to be easier. This is easier. Everything that you try to get to work, business is hard, and it's just part of business. It's going to be hard. There's no easier aspect of it. It's lower hanging fruits, so you could get certain things done quicker and a lot. It won't be as difficult, but there's no easier route to be successful in business. All business ventures are going to be difficult, and you're going to have some hard. It's not going to be easy about it. So if you're looking for easy, I would just say, just keep working your job, because business is not going to be easy, regardless. She said, I'm in Philadelphia. This is Miss Sanders. See that squirrel up there? I keep thinking that he's going to jump on me. They don't jump on people. I'm in Philadelphia. Every time people want to charge so much for help to start up. I mean, we right here, and my nurse is in PA, so we're very versed with the nurse that helps me with our coaching. She's in Pennsylvania. So we have our program. If you ever want to take a look at it, just go to AlanChaney.com. Ms. Sanders from Florida. Okay, Felicia. Would this be doable or lucrative business in the Chicago area? I'm an LPN and it sounds interesting. Absolutely. I mean, it's seniors everywhere, and it's always going to be people needing home care. It's an essential business. It's recession proof for real, because people, no matter what, they're going to want to take care of their loved ones, and they're going to have to eventually get back to work. And as long as people have to get back to work, even if they can't, even if they don't have to get back to work, they want to get back to their lifestyle. They don't want to spend the rest of their life, especially like older kids just in retirement, to have older parents. They don't want to spend their retirement taking care of their mom or their dad. Not that they don't love them, but they still have a life to live. So on multiple different levels, for multiple different reasons, home care will always exist. So, and no matter what marketplace you in, it's always going to be families in desperate need of people that's going to come in, take good care of their families, making sure they're healthy, eating, taking their meds, making sure they're active, making sure they're being they have companionship and somebody to kind of be there for them on a regular and consistent basis, keeping them from falling and things of that nature. And that's what we do, and that's not going anywhere. And that works all over the country, and it works in multiple countries around the world. The home care. So no matter what city you in, what state you in, what little town you in, it's seniors, and you can help those seniors, and you can position yourself to help those seniors if you set yourself up correctly in those marketplaces. That was for Charlotte asking about Chicago. I was thinking the same thing. Stephanie, do you offer your residents the option to pay online through the website I have a Square on? Absolutely, we do. Like, this is 2020, so if you can, and it's usually hard. I mean, I say it's 2020, so it's a lot of options to pay online. But there's some clients out there that just aren't internet savvy, or they just don't like to use the internet for especially big payments like that. They don't want to put their credit card information on a website they never heard of. So sometimes we do have families, and I'm talking about residents and home care clients, who would prefer to mail checks in, who would prefer we're not picking up any checks anymore, but before the COVID, we would have to go pick up checks at certain family members' homes. But we definitely would prefer the pay online option, because that's much more convenient for us. So, and we're also paying all our staff virtually, like electronically now. Like all my staff is like, some of them was getting like checks and stuff like that, coming to the office, picking up checks, or like everything is virtual. Since the COVID, like we cut every point of contact, like physical contact we could, to, and remain operational. So we still have, I still have people that have to go out to the families and do the consultations, obviously, with the families. We don't do as much contact with the caregivers as we used to. We don't have caregivers coming into the office if they don't have to. We're providing them with PPE. They can pick it up at the office. You don't necessarily have to be there there's a place in the office where they can go in, pick up the stuff that they need. So we're doing everything we can to limit contact, just to lower the chances of spreading the virus. Every time you come in contact with a person, it's an opportunity, or just, I ain't gonna say opportunity, it's a chance that you can spread the virus. So even within our company, we're doing everything we can to lower the chances. So that means less contact with caregivers, less contact with families that we have to deal with, less contact with families, even with meet and greets, because families, they be wanting to meet 2 or 3 caregivers, and we like, look, we're vetting these girls good. Some of them have been around for a while. They got good references. We advise that you take, the first 1 or 2, opposed to like trying to see 3 and 4. And because again, we're trying to limit the contact of people connecting with, you know, doing personal one-on-one contact. Anything that we could do virtually, we're also doing meet and greets virtually. So we'll have my somebody from the office, usually the nurse that goes and does the consultation, the client, and the caregiver on a Zoom call, and they could do a meet and greet like that. A lot of times the family wants the caregiver to actually meet the client, the actual person receiving the care, like the family member, the loved one who needs the care. So that raises some issue because you can't really meet somebody in a bed or in a wheelchair, the person who's going to get the service on a Zoom call. So they are wanting them to come to the home. But again, you want to do everything you can to limit the contact between, you know, humans, physical contact in your business as you can. I'm getting tore up out here. That's why y'all keep seeing me swiping these bugs. But yeah, that's what we're doing. That was for Kim, and you asked me about the online stuff, and I just kind of went into that whole little. Now I have nothing but time to commit. I may not have a lot of money, but I definitely have. And that's what I always say. If you don't have time, you got a cell phone. You on here right now. You could be making calls to different referral sources, you know, introducing yourself, introducing your services, letting them know that you're taking clients, letting them know that you're available to do business. You could be sending emails, follow-ups. It's countless ways that you can be doing business without having to spend actual money in the beginning. And it's almost better to be like that because you begin to, you know, develop relationships, you know, and you become more creative and crafty when you don't have a lot of resources to just throw money at marketing or throw money at, you know, hiring somebody to go out there for you. You can do these things yourself, get on the ground, start developing these relationships with you and these different people in the industry, like different assisted living people and stuff like that. I know it's not the same right now, and I don't know what level each one of you guys states are in as far as opening up. But when you guys can open up, and when you do get an opportunity, not just only making calls, not only sending emails, you can still go into these places covered up, dropping off your material and letting them know that you're in the community, willing and able to do business and provide services to the seniors. And people are going to remember that, and you want to make sure you get names and contacts and putting your business out there. It's not a time to retreat. It's a time to get more aggressive. Schumann asked me, I think Nana, she asked him, do you have to have a property? Yes, most of the times you got to have a property. You can't walk around with an assisted living license in most states. I haven't seen a state where you can actually have a license without a facility. They license the facility and the owner or the business. They don't license just the business owner to just take the license to any property. So they're going to license the property and the owner's business, not just the owner's business, if that makes sense. How long after the first assisted living? Like about 18 months. Did we open up the second one? About 18 months. It took about 18 months because, I mean, it was the first one was the hardest one because it's like it's all new to you, and there wasn't like no programs, nothing like that for me to join, and somebody was walking us through it. Like we had to figure it out on our own. So before we got to the second one, but once we got full and the clients started paying, I mean, it's so much. It creates so much income opportunity for you, so much revenue that we were able, once everything was tight and we had everything under control, we was able to, you know, start getting properties soon after. That was Kim. Due to COVID, rental and mortgage issues, it has been hard to find a home to lease, and prices are up $3,000 just to rent a home. A lot of stipulations. Kiki Green, yeah, absolutely. I know there's been a lot of issues with mortgages. It's like far as people who already have homes and they're not being able to pay their mortgage. I'm scheduled to make a call. I have a call with my lender today, actually. As far as like, as far as like the availability of capital, as far as us going back to the marketplace right now and seeing what's available to buy another property. But from what I'm seeing, homes are still selling. Realtors are still selling. I'm seeing them. My guys are telling me like homes are selling. COVID hasn't really stopped anything. If you were pre-approved to purchase at a certain price point, you should be still okay. COVID shouldn't have changed that, unless you've been out of work and you plan on being out of work for a long time. Like people only been out of work for roughly about 2 months max. Again, and this is depending on what state you're in. Some states did never even shut down, but in most states, people did shut down. There were stay-at-home orders, so a lot of people couldn't go to work. But essential businesses were still going to work. So it's a lot of different things. Different things that you have to think about when you think about the mortgage. But I know you asking about your particular situation, and I don't know your particular situation in detail. But I'm gonna tell you, the market is still active. People are still selling properties. Prices are going down slightly in specific markets. I can't say that general across the board in every state, obviously, in every city and all that. But we're seeing prices dip a little bit or flatten. But for the most part, the real estate business is what it's always been. But what I did see, and even my lenders on my properties told me, like they were offering forbearances and all this shit. They was emailing me like, if you can't pay your mortgage, if you're affected, blah blah blah. But we're an essential business, so we didn't lose any income, so I didn't need to, take advantage of any of those payment plan options, because had we lost income or our income was frozen or anything like that, I would have definitely took the options. But because we weren't affected by our income didn't change, because we were a sister business and we still had clients, and clients were coming on even during that little air space. We didn't need it. But for people who already had homes and had mortgages, there definitely was some things and some questions about people not being able to pay their mortgage and things like that. So, but as far as you having pre-approval going into the market to purchase with a realtor, it should still be about the same. And that was Kiki Green asking about the rentals and the mortgage issues. And as far as it goes for the rental properties, it's just finding the right landlord to work with. It's just like you can't. You talking to when you going to lease a property, you're talking to an individual. You're not like going through a bank or nothing like that. You're talking to an individual, so you can one-on-one communicate your ideas and your vision for that person's property, and how you're going to provide them with a steady income with low impact tenants with a long-term lease. You know what I mean? So that's like the benefit that you take to a landlord when you're trying to lease their property for assisted living. And then you also offer them, extra, more above market value per resident, like going in, so if their house is renting for $1,000 a month, and that's market rate, and that's what they were asking, and it's whatever, a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, we just using a basic flat number, a round number, of 1,000, you can also offer them, say, hey, look, on top of that 1,000, every resident that I get, if I'm looking to get 4 residents in your property, I'll give you an extra $250 per resident that pays every month. So you can also offer him that as an incentive, or $150 or $125 per resident. And when I got a full house, you getting that extra income because I had a property fully leased out. That's an added benefit for them to have you. My phone about to die. That's an added benefit for them to have you as a tenant. And when I say low impact residents, seniors don't kick holes in walls. If they're a landlord, they're used to they're just like a traditional landlord that they've been renting to like families, Section 8 and stuff like that. They're used to people kicking holes in their walls, tearing their carpet up, painting, marking their walls up. So every time that they go back in, every year they get a new lease or somebody move out, if that's their business, they happen to do all these repairs and things like that. Whereas though seniors don't do that. Seniors barely move, and they're not going to kick no holes in your walls. Your house is going to be in stellar condition, the same condition that it's going to be in, and it's going to be clean on a regular basis because that's the state requirements. And obviously, if you run an assisted living, that should be your requirement. So it's just talking to an individual and explaining to that particular landlord the benefits of working with you as a assisted living operator, and the value that you're going to bring to them. Low impact tenants, long-term lease, steady income sounds very good to a landlord. Above market rates, above market rent, you know. So don't underestimate your value when you bringing your option to being running assisted living in their property. It's just how you word it. It's just all in the terminology and how you explain the opportunity to them. Man, my phone on 5%. So I'm gonna just go into the phone dial. Choo choo choo. Y'all asking some good questions today. It'd be hard for me to just talk, like just start saying stuff, because I don't be having like no point. But when y'all ask good questions, I can definitely help you guys out. See, some people are tagging some friends. Victoria, Stephanie. Somebody's asking how long is the process. It depends on your state's backlog. Maryland is probably 12 months to get assisted living. At this point, it's probably going to be longer now. Do our website have an A to Z plan? Yeah, we got most of our information is on the website on how to get started and how to work with us. But another good place where I have a lot more of these good conversations is on the podcast. Well, not conversations, I'm just talking to the mic. But I cover a lot of this stuff in detail as far as the numbers and some of the things you could be thinking about when you're getting into the assisted living game, if that's what you're referring to. And yeah, we do got a program where we got like a done for you assisted living program where we walk you through the whole process. He said, how have your activities for your residents changed since COVID? One thing is they can't get no visitors. That's the first and foremost. They can't get their family can't visit them. So we're doing a lot of everybody has tablets and they're able to like have talk to their family virtually. We can't bring anybody in except caregivers to come to the properties. They can't, there's nowhere to really go. We used to have them go to the YMCA or like the adult daycare centers and things like that. They can't get out. They used to go to the mall and, you know, like that. They like to walk around the mall or, you know, get pushed in the wheelchairs around the mall and things like that. It's just, those activities are just out of the same activities that most people are dealing with. So we're just trying to keep them active with, you know, the caregivers who are in the homes, in the residence, in the facilities. You know, they have to be more active as far as like keeping them engaged, you know, with games and, you know, just being more talkative and, you know, exercising and things like that. You can still walk around the property, but as far as like getting out there into the community, that's over with. And and really just monitoring people's health, as far as symptoms, the COVID symptoms, making sure we checking temperatures daily. Even the caregivers have to check their temperature. I'm making sure every caregiver, before you go into work, I need you to log your temperature before you go into any shift, resident or home care. Does your credit score make a big difference? Your credit score is gonna make a big difference on anything you do when it comes to real estate, lease or purchase. Definitely purchase, but that don't mean your partner can't. So like, just because you can't get something done, you got to be a business person, an entrepreneur. You got to know how to find people who can help you get it done. If my credit score not so great, I got to find somebody who credit score that is great, that's going to allow, that I can work with and get this property. I'm not going to let my credit score stop me. That's me personally. So you can't let it stop you. We use somebody just asked, Keisha asked about insurance. So we use a company called Erie. I think that's a local company for workman's comp, and then for just the insured properties, we use the businesses, the Solutions Group. They always did our home care insurance, but now they also offer small assisted living insurance packages. What is the safest patient to caregiver ratio? I mean, when you're talking about a home and we got 2 caregivers and 6 residents, it don't get no better than that, opposed to like nursing homes and bigger facilities where it's like 8-to-1, 10-to-1 and stuff like that. You're not even gonna worry about the ratio. It's always a good thing to say to the families. They always like to hear that their family, that their loved one is basically going to get one-on-one care in a smaller facility. So the ratio, anything 5-to-1 is awesome. Because most caregivers or most aides, they're used to working in like nursing homes and facilities like that. They're working 10, 12 patients sometimes. Charlotte says their general amount to have ready to start up. That's a vague question. It's kind of hard for me to say. I don't know what your situation is as far as where you're at and what you need. Do you need it? Are you talking about getting a home, after the home, the state license requirement? Because that's usually the thing. Home, leasing a property and paying the mortgage, paying the lease or paying the mortgage, buying a property, leasing a property, and maintaining that property as far as like the bare bones of the electric, water, the utilities of the property. That's that. So I always tell people to, if it's your first venture and you can't, and you let's say like live in a condo or a townhouse or somewhere, you can't actually start it in your own property, move in to the property. If you lease it or buy it, get it licensed while you living in it, so you're not paying 2 mortgages or paying 2 rents, 2 leases, and then start it from there. But other than that, once the state requirements are what they are, and each state is different. So your licensing fee, Maryland took their licensing fee away, so we don't even have to pay nothing anymore to get a license. It's just what we have to pay as far as doing the business. So Maryland is good with that. And I'm only referencing Maryland because I don't know what everybody's state is, because everybody's state licenses fee is different. What other costs? Insurance costs. And there's certain things that's just not going to cost until you actually get clients. You're going to need furniture. Usually when the surveyor comes to check the property, you're going to have to probably get a fire inspection, which is usually something simple. Unless you need sprinklers. And sprinklers don't usually come under 10 sprinkler systems usually aren't required under 10 residents, depending on where you at. So it's a lot of things that just depend. But you're definitely gonna need furniture if you're gonna have rooms, because they're gonna do the final inspection. They want to see the room set up to have the exact furnishing that the residents are gonna need. You're gonna have to have most states don't even require you to have insurance before you get a license, which is weird to me. They don't even ask about insurance. They ask about workman's comp. They don't ask about like business or liability insurance. But like the bare bones of getting started, those are the things you have to worry about. And then once you're up and running, obviously you got to figure out how to get clients. So that'll be marketing dollars, websites, promotion, ads, and things of that nature. That was for Charlotte. Keisha, thank you for joining the call, joining the live. I'm at 2 minutes, y'all. I mean 2%. My phone about to die. I'm gonna wrap up because I don't want to lose this, because I'm gonna save it and then I'm gonna run it back. I'll jump back on here in a couple hours. I got a couple things to do this afternoon, so I could probably jump on here later on in the afternoon. And so I'm gonna end it here. We got some great questions. Remember your questions. I'm gonna jump back on here, or you could just inbox them. I'm gonna push finish so it can save, and I don't want to lose all these great questions that y'all had, so I can have it in my database, or I can save the video and then play it back on the page. So I'm gonna talk to y'all in a little while. Thanks for joining. Looking forward to hear from you guys soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.